Scoop installs programs from the Windows command line. Here I'm starting from scratch in a command window. I have nothing installed besides PowerShell 3. No Git, no curl, none of the tools I need for development. Now I'll install Scoop and get my dev environment set up. Make sure PowerShell is enabled to run unsigned scripts. So that's working now. Now I'll install curl. And it's ready to go straight away. No need to restart your shell. If you've installed curl before, you'll notice I didn't need to install a certificate bundle to access that SSL website. Scoop has handled that for me automatically. Now I'll install Git. And 7-zip is required to install some apps. So I'll install that and then I'll install Git. And that's installed. You'll notice there weren't any user access control pop-ups. Scoop installs programs for your user account by default, so you don't need admin rights for most programs you install. The account I'm running under isn't elevated and isn't even in the administrators group. Now I'm going to clone the Scoop project from GitHub. So Scoop configures the credential manager that comes with msysGit for you. Now, unlike a lot of traditional installers, Scoop doesn't add to your environment path for every program you install. That's a bit hard to see, so I'll just grep it. So nothing from Git or curl in the path there. Now I don't know about you, but my eyes are hurting from looking at the console window defaults. I'm going to install a couple of tools to help with that. The first is called conconfig. Conconfig imports and exports console configuration to and from JSON files. It comes with some good presets that use the Solarize color theme. I'll use that now. So that looks a bit better. If you're interested in conconfig, check out the project on GitHub. Now I want to enhance my PowerShell prompt with git info and tab completion, so I'm going to use Pashaz for that. So now my prompt has changed, and you can see it's showing the Git branch I'm in red. And there's tab completion too. Now I want to make a change to my working copy so you see how the prompt changes. Wouldn't it be great if I could just touch to create a file? Well, it turns out I can. And now the prompt updates with an asterisk to show that the working copy has uncommitted changes. So now I want to log into the web server to see if anyone's downloading Scoop yet. But since I'm on Windows, there's no SSH available. So if I want to see if Scoop supports a program, I can use Scoop search. And there are quite a few programs there, so it's hard to see at a glance, but I can search more specifically. And there it is, OpenSSH. So I'll install that now. And now I'll SSH into my web server. And let's tail the log to see what's happening. So just a couple of people trying to hack my site, but not too much interesting there. Now I'd like to show you how easy Scoop makes it to work with programming languages like Ruby that don't come installed with Windows by default. So Scoop uses GitHub Pages for its homepage. And GitHub Pages is built on Jekyll, which is a Ruby program. So how do I get it running locally? First, I'll install Ruby. Now there's a gem file in this directory, so that means I can use Bundler to get the gems I need. And now I'll run bundle install. Now it's saying that GitHub Pages requires Ruby version 1.9. But what do I have? I have Ruby 2 installed. But that's okay because Scoop allows installing Ruby 1.9 as well. So that looks better. I'll try installing the gems again. So no errors that time. I'll try running the website now. Now I want to change this line here. So I could open up Notepad, but that would mean I'd have to leave the command line, and that's not very cool. So I'm going to use Vim instead. I'll just make a change there and then save that and then run Jekyll again. And I'll reload the site. And that looks better. So I'll commit those changes later, but I'll just show you one last thing with installing multiple versions of Ruby. So remember I installed Ruby 1.9.3 just before. And just to check that, there it is. But I can switch versions back and forth with Scoop reset, sort of like a poor man's RBEnv. And now if I run that again, it's Ruby 2.0. And that works for other programming languages too, like switching between Python 3.0 and 2.7. So that's a little bit of what Scoop can do. If you want to learn more, check out scoop.sh and the GitHub project.